You participate and answer questions.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Light here with Desire. We're going live tonight. We're talking about choices and different choices that we make and different opportunities that we have or consequences that we might get because of the choices that we make. So, hey to all my guests. Hi girls.
Hi.
All right. So, first of all, just to get started off, I want somebody, can anybody tell me their definition of a choice or what they feel or what a choice is?
Mm, mm.
What do you think a choice is,
um,
Desire? Lillian, did you have an answer?
um, no.
Desire, what do you think a choice is?
Um, it's a decision. Like you need to. I don't know. I don't know if I can figure out how to define the word choice without
Without using the word choice.
choice or decision.
Okay.
Um,
Shelby, anybody else? Jordan, want to give it a
no.
try?
Uh, uh, I don't know. Like selecting or making a decision.
Okay, and that's right on. The dictionary says a choice is an act of selecting or making a decision when you're faced with two or more possibilities. So if I said, do you want apple pie or do you want banana cream pie, you're faced with a choice of you have two things to choose between. But if I said, hey, you want some apple pie, it's either apple pie or nothing. So you have a choice to accept something or nothing. So a choice is an act of making a decision when you have two or more things, to choose from or to make that choice from. So it's selecting and making a decision. All right. So now I'm going to read off some things or benefits of our choices. All right. So with choice, you have freedom. I can choose to do something or I can choose not to do something. I have that choice, that freedom of choice to do something. I might do something wrong, but I still had the freedom of choice to do that wrong thing. Um, you are you have the ability to make your life better. So I can choose to stay in my current situation if I don't like the situation and choose to stay there. That's a choice I made. Or I can choose to do something about it and come up out of that situation. I can choose not to study and keep failing, or I can choose to study and earn some better grades. You have a choice to change the direction of your life. And that's kind of the same thing, making your life better. You have the choice, the possibility to reach your potential. We each have a purpose. I can either live up and walk out that potential that I have, or I don't like it. I want to try something else and maybe not be as successful as doing something that I know I'm great at. So, with that, which one of those? It's only a couple. You have the freedom of choice. You have a certain control of your life. You have the ability to make your life better, to walk out your potential or change the direction. Which one of those benefits do you think mean the most to you? And each one of you can answer because it's a different answer for everybody. I just might like the freedom of choice. Desire just might like to be able to change her life. Which one is the most important to you as a benefit of having a choice?
Um, I think to be able to change my life.
All right, that's big because you have that choice to change your direction. Anybody else?
I think. I gotta think.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read something while you guys think, and it's kind of along the lines of Lillian's choice. So it says in some areas of our lives we have no choice. You can't choose when or where you were born. You can't choose your parents. You can't choose your race, and you can't choose your genetic makeup. Those are things that's already done. You have to live with the conditions that you find in yourself in. But the longer you live, the more your life is built upon and shaped by the choices that you make. Since life starts with no choices, it doesn't begin equally for everybody. What happens if others are ahead of you in the beginning of your life, or how will you catch up? In the next section, we're going to answer those questions. So Lily said that she liked the choice, the benefit of choice of being able to change her direction in life. Now, you didn't get to choose who your parents were. You didn't get to choose the month that you were born in. We didn't get to choose the house that we get to grow up in. All right. And some of us, we get to grow up in really good situations. And some of us, we might not get to grow up in a situation as good as someone else. But the thing about it is, we can either stay in that situation as we get older, or we have a choice to, we can work a little harder, we can learn a little more, and we can change that direction of our lives by, doing something different. I know some youth that they're the first graduate in their family. Some of their family members might not have graduated. They might have dropped out of high school, or they might have graduated high school and not gone to college. All right. And they could still get by, they could still get a job and different things like that. But as 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 their child, you might say, well, I want to do more. I want to make more. I want to live somewhere different. So what do you have to do to put yourself in a different situation? All right. So I want you guys to think about it, and we'll talk about it at the end, but think about a change that you can make in your life right now that can change the direction of your junior high life, or that could change the direction of your life in general. All right. So think about something that you can do maybe more of or less of, or something out of the box that you could do that will change the direction of your life. Okay. So that's one. Life, we don't have choices. You don't even have choices in the food that you get when you're born, because when you're born, you're going to get the milk, right? You can't say, I don't want the milk. And if you refuse the milk, you just be hungry, right? Or when you start getting baby food, you start making, you can frown up your face and you can show, your body then shows, hey, mom, I don't like this. Oh, I'm spitting that out. Hey, mom, I don't like this. But even still, they'll still try and say, okay, well, we're going to try it 2 more times to see if you really don't like it. And then it gets to the point, well, if I'm hungry enough, I'm going to eat it. So until you get older, you can verbalize, I want fish sticks, I want chicken nuggets, I want mac and cheese, I want a salad, whatever it is that you want. We really don't have much of an option because our parents are going to choose those things for us. All right. So, number 2, as your age increases, so do your choices. Choices give everybody the possibility to catch up, so to speak, with others. So as you get older, you make more choices. In the beginning, it can be scary. So, going back to middle school, starting your year off, you're meeting new people and whatnot, having different interactions. You're a little older, so you are making more choices. You can decide what you want to wear, what you don't want to wear. You can decide who you're friends with or who you don't want to be friends with. So what are some choices going into this year that maybe you were afraid to make? Something that you were faced with that you had to either say yes or no, or, well, I have to do this, or they won't know if I don't do this, or, what are some choices? What's one choice that you were faced with so far in the school year? And it's still early, but what's one choice that you were faced with that, might have been a little scary decision for you to make?
For me, talking to new people and older kids in my class is kind of hard.
Okay. All right. And that's out of your comfort zone because you're in a bigger class and you're in a mixed age group. You guys are used to having maybe 2 age groups, smaller classes, and you really knew. I mean, you might know some of the older guys and gals, but the children in your other classes, you guys had the camaraderie. You guys were pals. You talk a lot to each other. So you had that comfort zone of talking to people. You knew their personality, so you knew how to approach them. But now, and even if you need some help or something and the teacher's not readily available, you might have to ask one of the older kids. So it's just kind of getting out of your shell to do that. So you said that was something that was difficult for you. Now let's look at the choice. I can either go over here and excuse myself and say, hey, do you think you can help me with this? Or I could sit over here and not know the answer or be able to figure out the answer, have to wait a longer period of time for the teacher to be available and even, get a little behind. So what's the better choice to do,
Talk to the older classmates.
Talk to your other classmates, face that fear, and just go ahead. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen?
I feel like my awkwardness would get the better of me and I wouldn't be able to speak correctly or I would do something stupid.
Okay. So let's just say you go over and you fumble over your words, you can't get your question out. All right. What's something you can do to get yourself together, to regroup, you know?
I guess take a deep breath and give myself a minute to think about what I'm gonna say before I say it.
That's good. That's perfect because you already have your thoughts together. All right. So instead of being impulsive and running right into it, get your thoughts together. Okay. I see number one. I'm not sure how to do this problem. All right. I'm forming my question. Hey, such and such, do you by chance know how to do this? Or can you guide me through this? You thought about it. You got your question together and you can walk over. And even in your nervousness, at least you already have your question together or you have the paper. If you don't go over there and do anything but somebody's going to say, what, you need help with that? Yeah, do you think you can? I mean, you might feel silly doing it, but it'll get done. So that was good. That's a good suggestion. Anybody else? What's something else that you might have been fearful of doing or you had a scary choice to make?
Well, can I say like I'm nervous what to do, like what's coming up right now?
Yeah.
Like next year, I'm scared to do a rite of passage.
Oh. Yeah, it's rite of passage time. So, what's your biggest fear about your rite of passage? What's your biggest fear?
I'm just gonna have to like say like what I write down to like a crowd of people in front of me, and I'm scared like I'm gonna mess up.
Well, hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? It is September. You have, let's see, September, October, November, December,
9 months.
January, February, March, April, May. You have 8 months. You have 8 months to think on this thing, to ponder it. You already know what you have to do. Everyone usually does the same thing. They have to make a speech about what it is that they want to do, a favorite Bible verse. So those are things that are familiar to you. So even when it gets down to the wire, down to the 6th month, all right, I have 8 weeks, I have 2 months, I have such and such hours, such and such minutes, and such seconds before I have to stand up here and go get this done. So you have plenty of time and you're already thinking ahead. So you have plenty of time to write it out, to rehearse it, even think about the things that you want to do. You could keep a diary once a month of seeing if you changed your mind. What is it that I want to do? What do I want to accomplish this year? What do I want to do when I go to school? Do I want to go to school or do I want to pursue a different path, a different career path? You know? So you have that time to think about what it is that you're interested in and what it is that you want to do and what sparks your interest. And you have that time and once you figure that out, you can say, what Bible verse strengthens me? And that's going to get me through this situation. And by the time, May gets here, you're going to know it like the back of your hand. You're not going to need a piece of paper. You might have a little nerves when you see everybody, but once you get into it, it's like, oh, I already know it. I can say it. I've thought about it. You can reflect on this moment. Hey, I remember September 19th at 6:30. We were talking about this moment, and here I am. Rite of passage, I'm ready to go. So you can even use some humor, to laugh about it. I was afraid of this moment. Now it's finally here. So that's amazing that you're thinking so far ahead. Anybody else?
Jordan.
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 Come on, Jordan.
Yeah, because Jordan's doing rite of passage also. Mm-hmm. Oh.
She has a rite of passage too.
Oh,
Yeah.
see? So you guys
Karen,
have
just admit that you're scared to do it too.
It's okay. It's okay. So there are going to be a lot of different things that you guys are going to encounter. You're going to encounter more things as the school year goes on and as you get older. Desire, stop smiling at the camera.
Why?
There are going to be a lot of different things that you're going to come in contact with, a lot of things that you guys are going to encounter that might be new to you. Um, and that you're going to have to get used to, and you're just going to have to get the boldness and get your thoughts together and go out and go and conquer it. Okay. But it's also important to remember that if you don't, Lillian, for example, if you don't get up and go get the help you need, you still made a choice. Choosing not to make a choice is still making a choice. You just made a choice not to do something. So no matter what you do, you're making a choice. I'm choosing not to get the help, or I chose to get the help, you know? Shelby, if you choose not to go to Flight of Passage, if you hide out that whole day and you don't get found, you let your nerves get the best of you, you still made a choice. So let's look at how these choices are impacting our future or impacting even our day. All right. So we have to, if you're going to make a choice anyway, because like I said, if you choose not to make a choice, you just made a choice. But if you're going to make a choice anyway, why not make it a good one? Why not make it a positive choice so you'll have a positive impact, or you'll get something, a positive consequence out of it. So let's remember, even choosing not to choose is still choosing. you just chose not to. All right. So, but also when we don't make a choice, we let others make choices for us. If I say I'm not sure what I want to wear, I don't know what I want to wear. I gotta wear something. Desire says I don't know what I want to wear to school. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the closet. I'm gonna find something. Tell her to put this on. She just gave her choice to me. I took over. She gave control to me. So she lost control of her own choice in that moment. When you can't figure it out, or you're not gonna do it, somebody else has to step in. You're losing control of a choice you could have made. You're losing a moment, whereas you're building yourself, and it's important that we learn to make these choices, and not just learn to make the choices, but learn to learn from the choices that we make. Whether it's a positive choice or a negative choice, learn from it. Oh, that turned out good. I can do that again. Or that turned out good. If I tweak it a little bit, it'll come out better. Or, oh, that didn't come out so good. I know next time to make a whole different choice. Okay. So we have to be careful and still in the choices that we make. All right. So to encourage you to get started making choices, it's important that very few choices are choices. Everyone says, once you make the choice, that's it. But some choices, like words, once I say it, I can't take it back. I can come to you and I can apologize for what I said if I said something hurtful, but I've already put those words out. Now, if I go buy a shirt, I get home, I don't like it, I can take it back. Maybe, unless it says final sale, this, that, or the other. So we have to be careful of these final choices that we make. Choices with just a long-lasting consequence. Like I said, words, we can't take our words back. A cake, if I burn it, I might have enough eggs, I can make another one, maybe. But I need to learn from that. What do I need to do? Oh, pay attention. If I do say something hurtful, I do need to make that choice to ask for forgiveness. Learn from that mistake and make sure before I get impulsive, or I notice this time I was angry. So when I feel this way, breathe before I say something, or ask for a moment before I say something, because once it's out, I don't get it back. So now I'm going to ask you, what was a wrong choice? Have you guys made any wrong choices yet that you're like, ooh, I should have did different. Ooh, I should have studied harder.
Yeah.
Have you guys? Okay. So even though,
has.
we're like 19 days in school, what's maybe a choice that, you could have done something different? Desire, since you're smiling at the camera, what's a choice that you made that maybe wasn't the best choice? All right. That you could have done something different. Give me a choice.
That I could have done something different.
Different, yeah.
That I regret it.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it was last year,
Okay.
and I had said something to someone,
Okay. Words. All right.
and they just got real mad at me.
Oh,
And like, this is why we were never.
okay. Did you say something that was mean and hurtful, or were you just being silly, or
I don't know. I guess I wasn't thinking about what I was saying. And
okay? So you kind of just like let it go. Okay. So what did you learn from that?
control my words.
We have to control our words. That's one of the fruit of the spirit, right? Self-control. So we have to have that
Mhm.
self-control. We have to learn to control our impulses. Sometimes we might want to say, "Oh my God, that's ugly," but I mean, how is that other person gonna feel? You know, is this something? What I'm
Mhm.
about to say, is it something that's gonna hurt someone, or is it something that's gonna help someone? You know, those are some things that we need to think about. You know, is it going to be a blessing to someone, or is it just going to be a burden to somebody? You know, think we got to think about these words that we're saying. Um, but sometimes we need to say something to some people, maybe to help them out. You know, it might be hurtful, but it's all in how you say it. You know, instead of saying, you know, that's horrible. Why did you put that together like that? That doesn't match. It's like, so you like a lot of colors, you know, or whatever. Or, you know, hey, your shirt's not tucked in the back. You might want to check, you know, instead of saying or laughing and be like, oh my gosh, Desire, you didn't tuck your shirt in the bathroom. Your underwear is showing. Oh, we see your blue and purple underwear. You know? So, I mean, that could be a hurtful situation instead of saying, hey, Desire, your underwear is showing. Go fix your stuff. You know? So, I mean, it might be embarrassing, but do you want me to let you walk around and let the whole school see your purple polka dotted underwear, or do you want me to tell you?
But you ain't smiling in that camera no more.
No, she's not in the camera at all. Okay. Okay. So that's something else that, you know, I want you guys to think about how we say things. Sometimes something might be necessary to say, but it's called tact. How we say something, you know, it doesn't have to be mean and hurtful. You know, I don't have to yell down the hall all your business. I can pull you to the side and maybe be like, hey, that was hurtful. Why'd you say that? Or, you know, did you think about what you were doing? Or, hey, you might want to tuck that in the bathroom. You know, um, so you got to be careful. So now, thinking ahead, thinking ahead. What are some choices that you really have to think about before you make it? What's something that you really need to think about before you make a choice and actually follow through with it?
Um, when it comes to making new friends,
Okay.
I want to be careful with who I talk to because I never know how they act or what kind of person they could actually be, or if they really want to be my friend.
Right, right, right. We're instructed to guard our hearts, you know. If I just meet you, I don't want to tell you all of my secrets and lay everything because I don't know if you're a trustworthy person. I don't know if you're here to really be my friend or if you're here to go back and tell Shelby everything I just told you, you know? So it's important, and that's in any relationships, you know? It's important to get to know people. Some people we just will be acquainted with. Hey, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. All right, talk to you later, you know? And then some people we can have that genuine relationship, you know, with. You know, we can have that commit. You can be committed to Lillian, and you can be committed to Desire. You know, you guys know each other. You've known each other for a while, so I know that I can tell you, you know, if I'm hurting, or I know that I can tell you my secrets, and it's a safe place. You know that you're not going to go back and hurt my feelings or try to use what I said against me. So it's important to get to know the people that we're hanging around. It's important to know their personalities. To know, hey, are they a nice person around this group? But when we get around this group, they're just a mean and conniving person. So, you know, they kind of have double standards, they're wishy washy, maybe going back and forth. It's important to see people in different situations and see how they act, because that tells you a lot about them. That tells you a lot about their personality. Hey, what do you like? What kind of things can we do together? What do we have in common? And not saying that every friend is going to have every match in common with you, but we want to make sure that we maybe share some of the same values. Maybe you know that I don't do these things and you respect that, okay? Because let's say if Lillian doesn't drink orange soda, and every time I see Lillian, I'm like, here, Lillian, you want some orange soda? I'm having some. That's disrespectful. I know you can't have it, or I know you don't like it, or I know that you don't, this is something that you don't partake in, and I'm continuously bringing it to you. That's kind of like being a temptation, So we have to be careful about the people that we allow in our lives and allow to influence us as well, okay? All right, so some things that we have to think about before we do them are what we say. We talked about that. Doing something that we know just might not be the best thing to do. Or sometimes you have that little feeling in your stomach. The other day I learned that your stomach is kind of like a brain. That's how. Have you ever been in a situation and you're not so sure about it and your stomach's like, ooh, or you feel like really funny in your stomach or lighted, butterflies in your stomach or something like that. Or if you're super, super duper have a crush and you're just like, ooh, tickly feelings, our gut tell me, it kind of tells us different things, or if we're super nervous and we got bubble guts going on, it's like, oh my gosh. So I mean, just listening to that small voice or listening to, your body or following signs. God speaks to us in so many different ways, and we just have to learn to keep our ears and eyes open. All right. So we only have like 4 more minutes. So I'm going to go over one little last part, and it's a reflection part. I want you to, like I said, we have to remember that a choice is when we're making a decision. We have 2 things or more, and we're faced with them, and we have to make a decision. Our choices that you make today affect the person you will become tomorrow. So if you make good choices, we'll have those, positive things and positive consequences that follow. But if we keep making negative choice after negative choice after negative choice and not learning from it, we'll start to fall behind, or we'll start to miss out on things. Or if I continue to interact with the wrong group or the wrong crowd, I might miss out on the friends that really cared about me. Okay, so we have to make sure that we're careful about the choices that we're making, because decisions we make today affect who we will become tomorrow. Our choices mold us. If I see Lillian and every day I see her, she's kicking somebody, or she's taking something that doesn't belong to her, or she's doing something, how am I going to label her? Am I going to say, oh, she's so sweet, I love her, she can come over and spend her desire, I don't mind having her visiting? Or am I going to say, no, don't invite that child over this house? I don't know what's wrong with her. Somebody need to talk to her mama, because she just is not acting right. So the choices we make, someone is always watching us. And the choices that we make, they actually create, different habits and whatnot. If I make a choice enough times, I'm going to think, well, you know what? I don't care. It's all right. I did it and got away with it, so I'm going to do it again. And you'll do it and do it and do it until, maybe you don't get away with it that one time, So we have to be careful, because our choices, they also mold us. They mold our character. Our choices precede us. They go before us. Like I said, if I see you continuously making negative decisions, I'm going to think twice about, hey, she can go on a field trip. No, because, I know something's going to go wrong if she goes. So, and we don't want that. Okay, so make sure that we're making good choices. The value of making good choices. Everything in your life is a reflection of a choice that you've made. Okay, so that's something that you remember. Let's say that, everybody say that. Say, everything in your life. Everything in your life is a reflection.
Is a reflection
of the choice you made.
Of the choice you made.
So we have to think about that. When negative things happening, it's a reflection of a negative choice we made. When positive things happen, it's a reflection of a positive choice we made. Okay? So I want you guys to remember that choices are important, and choices Our choices affect us, but one quick tag, they don't only affect us. Our choices have the potential to affect others as well. So we have to be careful how we are affecting ourselves and others around us, because at all times we're supposed to allow our light to shine. And we want that to be a positive light. All right. A positive, radiant light shining. All right. So this is light, that stands for lift, inspire, guide, heal, and teach. I'm signing off. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section of what you think. And I hope you guys join us next Wednesday here at the Little Bible Study with Light and Desire. Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
All right. So did you guys enjoy that?